Welcome back to your soon-to-be favorite podcast. I'm Angelica.
And I'm Kelsey.
And this is
Here We Grow.
I am not on it today because I am not having my microphone picked up.
She's not even holding her microphone.
But when, Jesus Christ, bro. Hang on. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? You sure about that?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. What's up, guys?
Hello. Welcome to the Here Girl podcast. I'm Angelica.
And I'm Kelsey. And this is a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Boy. Crazy.
Yeah,
2025.
Things we could not have expected in 2024, but not as crazy as 2023.
My God.
Yeah. So we went back to last year's end of year episode and re-listened to it.
Yep.
So we could see, what has changed. And not a whole lot with me, just still a toddler mom. Some professional stuff has changed, but some self-realizations maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to talk about that today. We have some reflection questions for the next year, for this year and for the next year. And Angelica has a list of crazy things that happened in 2024 that you may have forgotten about. And what else? Quote of the week.
Okay. Quote of the week.
Jumping right in. How was your week?
It was good. We just had Christmas.
Yep.
So it was nice. I made a frame photo prop, like the one that you did for Duloc.
Mm-hmm.
We did one for Christmas, which I didn't have time, and I was gonna draw everything, but I was like, I'll just get stickers. So I did. That was really cute. And I made it a point, hey, everyone has to take a picture with this frame, because I feel like at the Shrek themed party, only 4 people did it because I forced them to, and then it kind of died down. But no, I made people do it, and then people were lining up for it. I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
I knew you guys would like it, and then they kept wanting to take more and more, so it was a hit.
I feel like people know about it, but they think oh, wait for picture taking time. But then picture taking time never comes.
Oh my God. I was shaking. I literally scarfed down my food so that I could hurry up and see who, is anyone else done eating their food? Which we were one of the last people. I made sure of that.
Yeah.
So that when I was done eating, everyone else would surely be done eating.
Yeah.
So I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but they caught on. But it was nice. Nice family time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a good Christmas. Yeah.
It was a really good Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
It was
great.
a great Christmas.
It
No
was.
notes.
Yeah. All good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one family member was kind of getting on our nerves, but she went home and it was fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that
sometimes
happens.
that happens. You just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
But otherwise, delightful Christmas. Every gathering. Delightful.
It was really nice. No complaints.
No complaints.
10 out of 10.
We should have a real Friendsmas next year.
With games.
With games, yeah. You're with games.
Games.
Well, if we didn't wait till fucking midnight to start playing games.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Well, not totally your bad. Just how the party went.
You're talking about the Friendsgiving?
Well, Friendsgiving was different because there was a bunch of kids there. And by
Time for the
kids,
Shrek
I
party?
mean under 3 years old.
Talking about the Shrek party?
Remember we were going to play Cards Against Humanity. And then it got too late and we're going to go home.
Y'all just can't hang anymore, okay?
Well, we can't hang when we have to sit around and wait doing nothing for 20 minutes.
I know. I should have brought the games out sooner. That's my bad. That's
but
all
we
me,
had fun
Fam.
playing Speed and
That's all me, fam.
Spoons. We had fun playing. I mean, we did play
Then
games.
why are you complaining?
I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining. No, but we do need to have a Friendsgiving without kids. So that we can actually all chill with each other and play games and actually have a game night. Because we're not going to be able to do that with toddlers. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
Gotta figure that out. Did I do
well in
that?
advance.
Did I do that?
What?
I thought I hit the table or something. Anyway, go ahead.
All
Quarter of the week.
right. Quarter of the week. Quarter of the week. What the new year brings to you will depend a great deal on what you bring to the new year.
Interesting.
Life is what you make it.
Yeah.
So I know we're really big on manifesting, which for myself, it does work.
Mm-hmm.
But dreams don't work unless you do, right? So,
well, manifesting is still you bringing it.
Well, exactly. So,
Mhm.
like, you can say you have all these goals and all these manifestations and how you want your new year to go. But remember, it's not. How about this? You have to be, you have to be on the same vibrational current to be accepting of that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to place yourself to be able to receive all of those things that you want to receive. Because if you're not there,
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to swing past by you.
Right. Don't let life pass you by.
Right. So everything, can happen.
Yep.
Granted, not everything. Obviously, there are some things that are way out of your control, but some things you can.
Right.
And like we've said in the past, if you didn't complete a goal in 2024, it's fine. There is
do it in 2025.
Yeah, there's a continuation, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I was gonna reiterate what we said last year, which was that just because it's the end of the year does not mean that you've failed anything. Mm-hmm. It's just like, from December 31st to January 1st, it's just another day. The calendar is made up by humans. Like, it's just made up for taxes and business reasons.
Yep.
We don't need it otherwise.
Mm-mm.
So don't let the calendar decide if you failed or succeeded this year.
Right. Right.
Because this year doesn't exist, actually.
Right.
This year doesn't exist. It never happened.
Never.
And it won't happen next year either. Next year won't happen.
You're lost in space.
We're dead. We're all just floating on a rock.
Literally.
Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense.
I just wanted to note that on our 365 days later last year, we were recording in my kitchen, and I said we temporarily lost table. We temporarily lost custody of our table.
Mm-hmm.
And now, not only do we have another table, we have a sign.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did get a different table and use that for a while.
Yes.
But now we're sitting in much more comfy chairs.
Yes. Shout out to Mario.
Yeah. And we have a sign.
Still on the hunt for, curly,
chairs.
cute matching chairs. But
so if you know of some, let us know.
But, yeah. And we have a much more consistent space.
Yes.
Than moving everything around.
Yes.
So
we can kind of just sit down and press play.
Exactly. And then, something that we haven't talked about is our quote, which is all good things happen exactly when they're supposed to.
Yeah. We used to say it all the time, but we don't.
All the time.
Yeah.
So
what?
I
thought you were gonna drop like information or something.
Well, I was
surprise.
I don't know. I guess I could bring it up now, but I actually didn't know where to bring this up. But I wholeheartedly believe that even more now this year, because literally, like, I think it was like right before my divorce was finalized on March 1st. I had went to church. I had been on like some dating sites, and I had gone on a couple dates with DJ Dumbfuck, and like, but you're the love of my life, dude. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, and I had gone to church, and I basically like surrendered, right, like to who I believe is a higher being, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done trying to find it. I'm done looking. I'm done searching. I have full faith that what will be for me will come to me and will find me. And I have trust and faith and believe that it's going to happen when it's supposed to. And I'm just going to relinquish, and I'm done. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to put any more effort into it. I'm done. Mm-hmm. And then like a week and a half later or a week later, Mario messages me. Mm-hmm. And like it started off as literally nothing.
Yeah. You were like, no, this isn't going to happen. Like it's not anything.
Yeah. Like I was just like, oh, I'm a sucker for good conversation. So like if you message me with good conversation and we're hitting it off, like
it's because she's addicted to the dopamine.
No, I'm addicted to good conversation. Like,
just kidding.
if you can keep it going with me, if you can keep me entertained, I guess
Yeah.
it's more like it. Like, if it's very dry, I will not respond. But you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And he kept it going. Like, if you can transfer from one topic to the next and then keep it going day to day.
And showing interest in.
Exactly. Showing interest.
Yeah.
And that's just so crazy to me. Like, I go to church and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like,
God was like, give me a week.
and he did.
Mm-hmm.
Divorce was finalized, and a week later, Mario slid in my DMs.
Damn.
And I'm like, what possessed you to do that? Like, what gave you the confidence to like message me?
Yeah.
And he's like, it wasn't even about you. It was about the cake you posted because it was an anime cake.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just like the anime cake, and I just wanted to comment on it and say, oh, a really cool
And you guys
cake.
just ended up drawn to each other.
And then we just talked. Yeah. And then he asked me on a date. I thought it was just dinner. And then
You didn't know it was a date.
I had no idea. So anyway.
You're like, yeah, it kind of was a date afterwards.
Yeah. So I don't know. Good things happen. All good things happen exactly when they're supposed to.
Yep.
Just wanted to reiterate
Yep.
the quote. All right. So we had some New Year's reflection questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first question was, describe this year in 3 words. So for 2023, you said trying, self-actualization, and growth.
Mm-hmm.
I said altering, adapting, and self-actualization.
Mm-hmm.
So describe this year in 3 words.
Definitely growth.
I was about to think. Yeah, I was thinking.
I was about to think.
I was thinking growth, and I was about to say growth.
Just about to think. Hold the phone. I was just about to think.
Yes, growth.
Growth, yeah.
For sure.
Growth for me, and like things that I figured out about myself personally, growth professionally. Yeah. Ooh, almost fell back. That'd be funny on video. 2 more words. Jeez.
Describe this year in 3 words.
Chill.
I was gonna say soft for me.
Chill and soft, kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like nothing crazy happened, or at least I don't remember anything crazy happening. What? Do you remember something crazy happening?
Yeah, it has to do with the podcast too.
I don't remember.
We'll talk about
I have
it later.
ADHD, so
We'll talk about it later.
it's out. It's filed away.
And lovely.
Yep. I'd say fun. We did a lot of fun things this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we went to Chicago for Ladies and
yeah.
Tangents, and we did 2 trips. I felt like, or was it just 1? No, I think it was just 1.
It was just the one. You're thinking about the way there and the way back.
Yeah, we did the Chicago trip, and yeah,
We had our podiversary.
mm-hmm.
That was neat.
Yep. All this dead air, trying to reflect on the year.
Do you want me
Okay, wait. One thing I had commented on that you said in last year's episode was, you were like, have you seen that post that's like, God, you made me strong in 2023, make me happy in 2024? And look at you. Look at you, girl.
I think I have that in here somewhere too. Yep. God, you made me strong this year, made me happy next year, and he did.
Yeah.
That's what I have written down here. So, had my birthday, pajama theme, no boys.
Mm-hmm.
That was in January, and then February. We did we're podcasters. Of course we're video.
Mm-hmm.
What else happened in February? That's it. March, Mari and I started talking.
And went on your first date.
No, that was April. We had the lunar eclipse. Sorry,
Oh,
the
yeah.
solar eclipse.
Solar eclipse, yeah.
Had the podiversary. Then me and Mario went on our first date.
Yep.
I almost said my ex violated the protection order. I won't say that.
Oh, are you gonna cut that out?
Yeah, cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Yeah, this year, for the most part, I went to go see Russ in June.
Yep.
I went to go see Ladies and Tangents in April.
Mm-hmm. A lot happened in April.
Yeah. April was a really hot month.
The Heart Ball was in April. Kendra got married.
The what wasn't? Oh, yeah, the Heart Ball. Yep. I became a godmother again to my niece.
Oh, yeah, while you're looking through that. In the last episode, or last year's episode,
we each got new couches. Sorry.
In the last year's episode, we said a biggest surprise. And we're like, Maria being pregnant. And we're like, yeah, she's crazy. She's pregnant with a 4-month-old. And now she's pregnant with a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. A year later.
You can't even be surprised anymore. Mm-hmm. We went to emo night.
Yep. Emo night was
September.
Fun. I got drunk on accident.
Nice.
Angelica had to hold on to me. I've never been drunk in public like that ever.
That was funny.
But it was fun.
Yeah, it was cool. I love the people
drunk.
watching.
Yeah.
The most.
And me being drunk, it was like a fun drunk, not like I can't control myself.
Right.
Drunk.
Right. No.
Yeah. It was like highly tipsy.
Yes. September, Mario got my name tatted.
Oh, you're gonna keep that on the podcast?
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. We went to a Pacers fan jam game.
Oh, that was so much fun.
And got pictures of Miles Turner.
Ben Shepherd, Quentin Jackson, and...
God, how do you remember all those names?
Swider. I forgot his first name, but he's on our team anymore.
He's not?
He got traded.
The tall white guy?
Mm-hmm. He got traded. They're all tall. They're basketball players.
All right.
He's not tall compared to Miles Turner.
Yeah, right. Mara and I went to Salem.
Yep.
We got drunk. I got drunk.
In Salem?
No, at Gabby's birthday.
Oh, yes.
In November.
I don't know if we talked about that on the pod, but Gabby's birthday. Gabby, our best friend Gabby. We don't reference her very much, but I'm hoping she'll be on the podcast one day.
Oh, yeah.
One of our oldest friends, she had a birthday party in November, and it was also Sophie's birthday. And we met up in Broad Ripple and went to the Red Room, and...
There was a dance battle.
Oh my God, not us.
No.
Someone else at the Red Room was doing it. Was 2 guys, and they started doing like karate moves.
It was really cool at first, and then it just got weird.
It got really weird, and a little aggressive.
Yeah,
like maybe they wanted to fuck each other, but
like there was a lot of sexual tension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then it was just really fun. Sophie got really drunk. You got drunk. Gabby got. She says she wasn't drunk, but she was pretty drunk.
She was pretty lit.
She couldn't drive home, that's for sure.
She's pretty lit, yeah.
And she didn't.
Yes.
Me and Mario were designated drivers. And it was so much fun. Oh my gosh. It was crazy. I wish I could have drank more, but I drove Gabby there, so I couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
In my new car.
Good plan that you didn't.
Yeah.
We had Friendsgiving.
Yep.
I personally really liked the decorations for that.
Since she personally ordered them herself.
I personally did. Mario moved in. Kelsey took our Christmas pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas card pictures.
Our Christmas pictures.
We started the Waffle Wednesday and only did it once.
Oh my God, we didn't do it this week. Oh, because it was Christmas.
It was Christmas. Yeah.
I said I was going to do it on Christmas, but I didn't.
And then next week is New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt. Well, maybe.
I need to set a reminder on my phone because if one of us does it, then it'll remind everybody else to do it.
Yeah. We had Mario's birthday party, which is Shrek themed. That was super fun.
Mm-hmm. And then your birthday's next week.
Yeah, I'll be 29.
Yep.
That's crazy.
All right, did you have more reflection questions?
Yes. What did you learn this year? Do you remember what you said?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I said
okay.
I learned my worth. I'm stronger than I thought. I learned how to handle shit gracefully. I also said I was psychic because I felt something bad was going to happen. And then I had the Salem trip and they confirmed that I am. Me saying that I hadn't gone through a lot of hardships and now I have.
Yeah.
And then the God you made me strong this year, make me happy next year. And he did. So what did I learn this year? I learned that healthy relationships are hard.
Yeah. Harder than abusive relationships.
Like
in a different way.
Because a toxic relationship, you're literally like adding fuel to an ongoing fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like almost not really caring about what you do or say sometimes.
Or like if it gets resolved.
Yeah, or if it gets resolved.
Uh-huh.
Because we're going to continue anyway. So like there's no resolution. There's no end to this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like choosing to be, empathetic and not being as defensive and seeing things from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And just growing as a communicator.
Like kind of, I think another thing was like, something we talked about today was like learning to communicate together as partners rather than like fighting against your partner all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
so
big thing.
Like deconstructing a lot of toxic behaviors and being defensive a lot of the time. That's been kind of tough. But we're working through it, baby.
I'd say what the question was, what'd you learn, right?
Yeah, what you
learn?
What you learn, girl?
I learned that how do I want to word this? I learned that the village that I thought I would have is not necessarily my village, and that I have to create my own village, and that I have to just accept the people who I thought were going to be my village. I just have to accept them for who they are, where they're at, and not try to hang on what they could be or what my expectation of them could be. I think that was my biggest lesson. And it took me the whole year. Literally the whole year I'm hanging up on why these people do not have more interest in being a part of my village or are not there for me in that way. And then at some point, I think I saw like a comment on Facebook or something. And this is why the podcast, I believe, is so powerful, because I've always said I think it takes just one thing that you can say to someone or someone can hear on social media from someone else's experience that can change your whole way of thinking. I think I saw a comment that was like, I had to decide for myself to just accept where these people are in my life and move on. And that was the best choice for me, because kind of like forgiving someone for your own sake, not for their sake. Like, it's better for you to be able to move on peacefully if you just accept where they are.
Yeah. Expectation is the root of heartache.
Yeah. Like we've talked about expectations. Like when someone's not meeting your expectations, you have a few choices. You adjust your expectations. You voice your expectations and see if they want to try to live up to them, or you remove yourself.
Yeah.
You can't change the way that people act. You can only change your expectations of them, or not, and remove yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
What's the next thing?
What are you proud of? You said the podcast.
I am proud of the podcast. Sometimes it's hard to remember. Sometimes it's hard to keep that feeling of what we're doing this for. And I think we've talked about it. I think we talked about it in the last year's episode. I keep trying to say it in the last episode. In last year's episode. Because the people reaching out to us saying that we're making a difference, or saying that the things that we said really helped them, are few and far between. And so then I forget about them, and then that feeling goes away.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard to say even though I am proud of the podcast, it's hard to say it right now because I don't have that feeling of like we're doing great. We're just being as consistent as we can be right now. But other than that, other than the podcast, I'm profound. I was trying to say professional and proud at the same time. I am proud of my professional development this year. And this is like 7 years in the making, like where I've kind of weaseled my way into the position I'm at my job is like 7 years in the making. And finally I've gotten to a point, or at least my employer has gotten to a point where they can make room for me in the place I want to be. And so 2025 is going to be really exciting for me at work. And I'm really looking forward to that because I love my job and it makes me happy. So
you deserve it.
Thank you. I'm very lucky to be able to say I love my job and that it makes me happy because I know not everybody has that. And it took me a long time to get to a place, even at this job for the last 7 years. It took me a long time to get to the place where I could say I love my job and it makes me happy. So, like, I really don't dread going to work in the morning. I really don't. Sometimes I dread getting out of bed, but then once I'm out of bed, I don't dread going to work.
Yeah.
I don't like have to convince myself to go to work.
Right.
What about you?
That's beautiful.
What about you?
What about? Well, I don't want to give a lot of attention to this issue. I will just say that we were. How do I word this? Someone tried to silence us.
Yeah.
Someone tried to silence the podcast. Someone tried to take control of the podcast, control of what we say, what we put out, what we post. And I think it fueled my fire, and it like reminded me of how important it is to get the message out to whoever's listening, right? Because this person was not a true listener of the podcast.
They were monitoring us.
Yes. They're what?
Monitoring.
Yes. What? Yes.
Remember the episode where you're like, yeah, like you said. Wait, what'd you say?
What'd you say?
They were monitoring us. They weren't actually listening to us because they were a fan.
Exactly. And that wasn't cool, dude.
Yeah. Definitely not cool.
And I'm really proud of us for not
like standing our ground.
Yeah. And for sticking to what we believe in.
Yeah.
Which is this podcast, which is, you know, being able to be vulnerable and say what we want and being there for others and helping others, standing up for others and being able to speak our fucking minds and saying whatever the fuck we want.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like,
yeah.
It just was so crazy the way that this person took a non-issue and totally created like a tornado. And I'm very proud of us for the way that we handled it.
Yeah. Specifically you, because I was ready to fold.
Oh.
But it was because I felt like I was protecting someone that was also involved. And you were like, no, we're not folding. No, absolutely not.
We don't negotiate with terrorists. We do not negotiate with terrorists. Okay?
Don't say that. I'm scared of terrorists now. Okay. Like real actual terrorists.
All right, cut that out.
We don't negotiate with low self-esteem men.
We don't negotiate with narcissistic men, okay?
Oh, there we go. That one.
So
that part.
All to say that I'm really proud of us for how we handled that. And
if we want to get bigger, more to come.
Yeah, more to come. And, you know, it kind of made us feel like, okay, I'm not a Swiftie. I only know this shit because Monica at work is a Swiftie.
Okay.
But there's this song that Taylor Swift has where it's like, I think she says something like, who's scared of little old me? Right? Like she has made many people feel threatened and she's like, who, little old me? Like I'm just out here living my best life, making music and dancing and I'm not even minding you.
Yeah. There's like memes that are like, imagine being like offended by me or like threatened by me, and I'm just at
in
home,
my room, like
yeah, I'm just at home,
twerking
like
or-
eating ramen noodles in my underwear or something.
Literally, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like, we have this podcast, and right now it's small, and we hope that it's gonna get bigger. But like, you who think you're so high and mighty, you're worried about us,
Right,
homie.
if you're so high and mighty, then go be high and mighty.
W-
We ain't sweating. You ain't sweating us.
The
then.
people that are trying to take you down, it's because you're above them.
Mhm.
So that's all I'll say on that.
Yeah.
I literally started off by saying,
Period.
I don't want to give this too much attention.
Then we talked about it for 4 minutes.
Okay.
That was a what was I gonna say? I don't know. Go ahead. I couldn't think of the word. Now it's been too long. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead.
I was going to say that a mentality that I had that I spoke about on the last year's episode is
Not
where
the last episode, like I've been trying to say.
like I genuinely believed that I didn't deserve anything good in life.
I wrote that down.
Like I genuinely believe that I didn't deserve anything good in life, and if for whatever reason something good happened to me, it was a coincidence, it was a fluke, it was not because I was deserving or that I was meant to be. And I am proud to say that I no longer feel that way. Like, I don't have that mentality.
Yeah.
If anything, now I'm on the other side where I'm like, I deserve nothing but the best. Like,
that's good to hear.
On an extreme level of, like, I won't take anything less. I won't accept anything less.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes me so sad for Angelica leaving 2023. Like,
yeah.
But also, like, girl, like, you just have to hang on for a couple more months, and then
You
your
never
whole
know
world,
what's on the other side.
Yeah, your whole world is
Just
gonna
wait
just
till you
turn.
see the other side.
Yeah, just wait. And I really thought that way. Like, that's really sad.
It is sad.
And it's because I had someone draining the life out of me.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to like when you're depressed, you don't have imagination, like we've said multiple times before. So when you were in this dark place, you couldn't imagine that there were good things out there for you and that you deserved them. So of course, like that makes sense that you would feel that way. But then just a few months later, you see, oh, I do deserve good things. I am worthy of good things. Another thing I was going to say about that, and that I've heard a lot about recently, is resilience. And I actually made a separate note about this. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it really quick.
Excuse me.
Okay, so there was a Instagram reel recently. Oh, there's this Instagram page that I follow. What?
There was this reel recently. Okay, so there's this whole page that I follow.
So there's this page that I follow. I don't know if she's a therapist, but she makes reels of her like role playing, talking. It's just her, so it's to herself.
Okay.
But it's her and her therapist, and she's explaining to her therapist how like when she went through this thing, it was really hard, but she should have been strong enough to get through it. Like she should have been strong enough. And I commented on that post, and it's been getting a lot of attention recently, where I was like, kind of the root of the issue is like, why did you feel you needed to be, quote, strong enough? Like, what does that mean that you think you were weak? What does weak mean? Like, is weak bad? Is it bad to have to fall down and get back up? No, it's not. Like, it's just a part of life. And that brought up like the theory of resilience. So what I wrote here is, I should be strong enough, but what makes you strong enough? What do you have to go through to then be strong enough? So it's kind of like a cycle. Like, how do you get strong? You go through things that make you strong.
Oh, it's kind of like when you, like that quote where it says, you asked God for strength and he gave you challenges.
Right. You have to build strength. You have to build resilience. You don't just become, you're not born strong.
Right.
Do you have to go through this thing and learn how to get through it before you are then strong enough to go through it again? It's called resilience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to add that little piece in there. I don't know what that was in reference to. I don't remember now.
I think it was deserving good things.
Yeah, deserving good things. Like, just allowing yourself to show yourself that you can be resilient. You can make it through things.
And you really
People have done it for decades.
And you really can. Like,
centuries.
I was watching Selling Sunset. Have you seen that show?
No, I know about it.
Selling the OC. Selling the Sunset. Selling Sunset. Selling the Sunset. The actual sunset. You've heard about it?
I've heard about it, but I've never seen it.
It's a show about real estate, but it's really just drama. I mean, it is real estate, but there's a lot of drama, and it's like reality TV.
Yeah.
And like this girl, she just found out that her husband's been cheating on her. And she's with her girlfriends, which are other like cast members of the show. And one of the cast members who had been through, her husband cheated on her. They got through a divorce, and now she's in the healthiest relationship ever. So she's telling this girl who just found out that she's been cheating on, like, hey, I know you can't see it right now. And you're like, your universe is so dark, but sometimes you have to get to that dark place so you can see the stars. Mm-hmm. Like, you just have to know that it's going to get better. Like, right. You're in this right now.
Yeah.
And I know it seems impossible, but like.
And feel it and go through it.
Yeah.
And be dark.
Exactly. Like, lay on the floor and wish that the earth swallows you whole.
Yeah.
But you're going to get out of it.
Right. It's not going to be like this forever.
It's not going to be like this forever. Mm-hmm. And I think in the beginning of 2024, I had that mindset where like, I know it's going to get better. Mm-hmm. It really fucking sucks right now. But like, I just know in some way, shape or form, it's going to work itself out.
Yep.
And I understand when you're going through depression, it's really hard to have that hope because you don't have that imagination of a better future. But if you have any kind of glimmer of hope, hold on to that. Mm-hmm. And like, when you're going through an abusive relationship, you can't possibly see your life alone or with someone else. You can't envision it. Mm-hmm. But trust me, it's so much better if you just fucking let it go.
Yep. And look at you. You did it after 10 years. And after being married just 7 weeks earlier. I mean, if that's not the hardest time to do it, I don't know what is. After purchasing a house with him.
You get to a point where you're like, this cannot be my life forever.
Do you ever look back at that time and be like, how did I do that? Like, how did I have the strength to say, we're done? And actually mean it this time? Do you ever think about that?
If I think about it, I might cry.
Oh, God.
Well,
oh, God.
It is kind of crazy to think back on it from the lens of who I am today. Mm-hmm. Because from the lens of who I was, yeah, how could I have done that? Mm-hmm. How? If anything, you would think that I would be more prompted to stay and deal with it. But I think his tactics and his people's tactics of trying to get me to stay actually did the opposite effect.
Yeah, we did talk about that a lot. Like,
yeah,
how he acted afterwards really
put the nail in his
coffin.
Yes. Because had he given me the space that I requested, I probably would have stayed. I probably would have whatever. Like, I probably would have. I love him. I'm just going to deal with it. Yeah. We can get through this.
Right.
But he just kept going at it and
making everything worse.
And then getting his mom on me and getting his brother on me and getting like people from the church on me. And it just felt like I need to take control back. And I'm tired of feeling without control.
Yep. And
I think a huge, huge part, had my mom said something like, Catholics don't get a divorce. You stick with that shit. You married him.
Yep.
You need to deal with this. I think had she been that way, I probably would have stayed.
Yeah. But she was very progressive and supportive.
And she didn't tell me to get a divorce. Yeah. She literally told me, you decide, but this is a very, very important decision.
Yeah.
What's happening right now, like, think about how it makes you feel.
Yeah. Amen, Mom.
Amen, Mom. And then finally, like, once I filed, then she's like, get that divorce, bitch. So I think had she been like, we don't get a divorce, you shouldn't get a divorce.
Yeah. And some people's parents do tell them that. And then they stay in abusive relationships for 10 more years because their parents have this expectation of them.
Yeah. I think also, too, something that really sticks in my mind is his mom being like, if you had such a short fuse with him, then why did you marry him? And it's like, lady, I didn't have a short.
My fuse isn't short.
Yeah.
His shenanigans are plentiful.
Like, it wasn't something that he did recently, and then that's what I'm upset about.
Right.
He cheated on me.
Yeah.
For the past 4 years.
And this has been an overall pattern over the whole relationship.
An overall pattern that this man does not learn from. And he fucking attacked me. Like, what's going to happen next? He murders me? Like, I think also, too, podcast. Something was wrong. Podcast helped a lot.
Yep.
Learning all those statistics and feeling, as I'm listening to that podcast, being like, oh my God, these women, I feel so bad for them. Like, oh my God, that's just crazy. And then seeing the reality play out in my home.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah. It's like slowly opening your eyes over time.
And that's why this is so important, because one day my story will be a survival guide to someone else.
Yeah. It has already been comfort to someone else.
This could literally save a life. Yeah. Yeah, I look back and I'm like, how? I just didn't want to do it anymore. I just didn't. And it's not about giving up.
No,
it's about wanting better.
It's actually it's not about giving up. Giving up. Wow, I can't talk. It's not about giving up. It's actually the opposite. It's about not giving up on yourself. Like, if giving up on your relationship, if giving up on the person that's hurting you means that you're standing up for yourself, then do that.
Yeah. I mean, I told you, like, that first week and a half or whatever it was, I really was going to take him back. And I really was, like, we can work this out. We can fix this. I can fix this. I can sign us up for therapy. We'll go to church. It can be fixed. But then, he started sending people, and it just, like, why are you telling everyone our business? Like, why are you involving everyone else? And
I think because by then you were already very well informed on narcissistic behavior.
Yes.
All of the behavior that ensued afterwards was very textbook narcissistic behavior. Yes. And that scared you. You were like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I hadn't talked about this before. I kind of mentioned it earlier, this podcast, about a DJ Dumbfuck.
Yeah.
I wonder if he still listens. Hey.
Hi. Probably not, though. Probably not.
I kind of hope he does. Just for, like, ego boost or anything. I don't really actually care. But having that person gave me the hope of a better future.
Yeah.
So I think also that helped as well. That served a purpose.
Right. I think everybody has that person. Everybody who leaves an abusive relationship has that first person that gives them a glimmer of hope of, like, oh, I can be treated better. I can. Yeah. I do. I am capable of receiving better treatment. Sorry. My nose was really itchy.
There's this meme that I saw where it's like your ex, like, you're already dating people, and it's like, yeah, there was a line. Let me make this perfectly fucking clear. Especially for girls more than guys. For girls, there is always a line.
Yeah, 100%.
I tell Mario all the time, there's always a line. He's like, yeah, I don't see one. And I'm like, because I sent them away.
You scared them away.
Yeah, you scared them away. But I can bring them. I'm just kidding. I won't. But you know what I mean? Like, to anyone out there who's taken their partner for granted, there's a line. And they're all waiting for you to fuck up.
This became all about your...
I'm so sorry. Okay.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, we should probably move on.
Yes, right. Okay. Goal for next year. Do you remember what you said?
Self-actualization, learning more about myself.
Yep.
I totally did that. I totally did that.
Oh my God, I love that for you.
Yeah.
I think you said something about cash too. Like
learning how to be a better mom, better wife, better...
I think you're saying it word for word.
Myself. Yeah. I have a great memory. That was a joke.
Let's all laugh together. Yeah, I said 100% focus on myself, what makes me happy, the healthiest, be the healthiest mentally, physically, emotionally, which I'm still working on some. I said stop putting the responsibility of my happiness on others. I no longer do that. I give myself happiness.
I would say it's 100% true.
Yeah.
Because there was a time in which, how do I word this?
How do
I word this without being specific? There was a time in which you would be bothered by not having the attention. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh.
But now it's like, I don't care if I have the attention or not. Like, I'm good on my own. I'm great on my own. Like, I don't need anyone's attention.
Oh, yeah.
It's a plus if I have it, but I don't need it.
Yeah, that was hard.
It was really fucking hard, Angelica.
Because it just was.
I just remember like just having multiple conversations.
Okay, so
like I can't wait till she's done with this because this is not gonna last at all.
Guys, dating apps are so stupid. We're so stupid for me. Okay, dumb as fuck. Totally fucks with you. Like anyone on dating apps, are you guys okay? Because
literally go to therapy.
What the hell? That was such a mental fuck for me. Like getting the instant serotonin ego boost.
Also, like not a lot of great men on dating apps.
Awful.
The good men out there, they're not on dating apps. They're somewhere else because they're definitely not on dating apps. I can tell from your experience.
Oh yeah, it was awful. I never met anyone. I never met up with anyone, but goddamn, like the people that I talked to, just the worst. Ugh. I mean, I'm sure not the worst.
But the audacity.
The caucasity.
The caucasity.
My God.
Some of them. Well, anyway, go ahead.
So what's your goal for next year?
My goal for next year is to try and plan more bigger family things, like going places, events. And stuff
I also
like
got fuzzy socks for Christmas. Sorry. Good. I'm so sorry. That was my impulse talking.
What made you think of that during my goals for next year?
I'm sorry. Start over.
I think my goals for next year will be like planning more things for our little family to do together. I've been thinking a lot lately about spending more time with Ava and Sophia, especially together, because they're close in age and they both have a special interest in like crafting and arts and stuff like that, which I also do. So I've been thinking about like taking them places where they can explore that more, and really just getting them together more because, you know, they're cousins.
What?
They're cousins? No, they're not. You're like, no, they're not.
They're aunt and niece.
They're aunt and niece. You're right. It's hard to remember because Ava's 11 and Sophia's 7.
It's gonna be so funny.
It is. They're basically like cousins, though. But anyway, that and some family stuff. Yep, and then like, yep.
Yeah, and then yep, and then yep.
Just really growing our family and not growing our family, like not adding people to our family, but like growing in a way that makes our family happy and growing professionally as much as I've already said. And yeah, I think that's it.
One of my goals last year was reading.
You did finish one book. You did finish one book.
I didn't actually finish it. I started another. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about? The Body Keeps the Score.
Oh yeah, that's hard to finish. I've started it multiple times on audio and have not finished it.
I actually took a break because it was getting kind of depressing.
Yeah.
So I started reading It Ends With Us. I do want to
also not great.
I know.
I mean, good, but not good for your. Yeah.
I know. There's other books I should probably read first.
But you did finish Loud.
I did finish. I did finish Loud by Drew Drew.
Badu.
Drew I follow. But yes, I know. Laugh at me all you want, okay? I'm saying it right now, okay? I want it to be a book per month, but I know myself that's not gonna happen. Let's do 6 books by the end of the year.
Okay. I keep trying to tell her she's just not a physical reader.
She
needs to
no,
read.
I am.
She needs to audio listen.
I am.
Why is it so important to you that you physically read?
I think I think this is it, and it's coming together as I'm saying it, right?
Okay. Love that for you.
If I'm an audiobook listener, for me, I can't just sit there and listen to something.
You have to do something.
I feel like I have to do something, and I feel like I can't give my full attention to that. Whereas if I'm reading, I'm touching something.
Right.
I have to pay attention. I'm like, wait, what did that say? And I have to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like for an audiobook, I know you can go back. I understand the controls. But like I wouldn't feel as guilty if I had it in front of me versus like, I don't know. Does that make any sense?
For me, and maybe this is the ADHD in me, I feel like I can focus more on books when I have a mundane task to do at the same time.
But I don't often have mundane tasks.
Laundry, cleaning, driving.
I would rather play music and sing.
That makes sense. To me, I think what's most important to me about books is learning things and like the absorption of information.
But see, I don't really read a whole lot of books that are for knowledge. It's more for like the fiction of like a story. Mm-hmm. It's like an escape from reality.
So I guess what I was trying to get at was if I were in your position and I want to enjoy these stories and I want to read all these books, but I can't get myself to sit down and read, then why am I blocking myself from just listening to them if it's like on a technicality?
Because I don't have a lot of mundane tasks. And if I do, I'd rather listen to music.
That makes sense. Well, we'll see this time next year if you've done your 6 books in a year.
I'm going to do it.
Okay. You got to put your phone in the other room.
Maybe I should do 3 a year.
Put your phone in the other room and don't sit in your bed and do it.
Okay.
Because you fall asleep. And you got to put your phone in the other room so you don't scroll TikTok.
Well, it also helps too. Like I was, for a while there before Mario moved in, I was on a routine of like getting in bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock and reading for 30 minutes and then falling asleep.
Yeah.
And they say you should get off your phone an hour before you go to bed.
Yeah.
You fall asleep.
Yeah.
So anyway, 6 books by the end of the year and be more creative with my makeup. What was the biggest surprise of the year? We talked about Maria being pregnant. Any other big surprises of the year?
Maria being pregnant again.
Yeah, honestly. And she told us on the podcast.
She told us on the podcast, yep.
I don't know, maybe one day we'll play it or we'll
and we cut it out, didn't we? Because nobody else knew yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe we can play it now.
Yeah. Well, I'll clip it in here if I'll clip it in here if I can find it. That was funny. I don't think I got rid of it. I think I have it.
I asked her the other day, I was like, are you naming the baby after me or mom? She's like, both. And I'm like, good answer. Good answer.
Oh, the middle name's going to be Angelica?
No, the first name.
Oh, wait. It was going to be Haley.
Shit. Middle name. Yeah, you're right.
So Haley Angelica.
Yes.
That's cute.
Yeah. Any other big surprises this year?
You said there was something big that you didn't tell me about earlier.
Huh?
You said that there was some other big thing that happened about the podcast. I was like, what?
Oh, it was about being silenced.
Oh, okay.
Big surprise. Again, something that I said on last year's episode was people not being who we think they are.
Definitely that. I think the biggest surprise was realizing that just because you think you know somebody doesn't mean you know if they're a good partner in a relationship.
Right.
So if you know this guy from school and you're like, oh, that's my great friend, so-and-so, John or whatever. He's such a great friend. You know, he'd be good for you and you pair him up with your friend. That does not mean that he's a good partner and he will be a good partner to that friend. He could literally murder your friend and you would never know that he was ever capable of that. And I mean that with all fucking seriousness. So think about that in every relationship you get into. Just because you think you know somebody or just because your family knows that person does not mean that you should look past red flags.
Right.
Does not mean that you think that you know them better than the red flags are showing you. Sorry, I ranted there for a second.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. So maybe it's not a surprise of the year because it keeps happening.
Yeah, I mean, it was a surprise the first time it happened, and then
Yeah.
we kept saying like, didn't put that on our 2024 bingo card.
Oh my God.
So
get
yeah,
over
definitely
yourself.
a surprise.
How was your family supportive this past year? I kind of already touched on that a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. And they help me with money, monetarily, emotionally. Just a lot of things. My mama. My daddy, too.
I don't got nothing. That's kind of sad. Yeah, I don't think I have anything.
Oof.
Solo dolo over here.
Do you have a funniest moment of the year?
Funniest.
Oh, I should have wrote this down.
Moment of the year. What did we say last year? You don't know?
I don't remember. I didn't write it down. What was the funniest moment of the year? What happened that was funny?
I will say, I was just thinking about like when's the last time I cried so hard that I was like, cried, laughed so hard I was crying, and it was when we took your Christmas photos and like Bolin was in the way and like,
oh yeah, his booty was in the air.
Yeah, all of that was hilarious.
I thought about posting some bloopers from it, like quote unquote bloopers, or like didn't make the cut of the Christmas card, but I don't know.
Pretty funny.
Maybe I still will.
Cash has just been funny all year. He just says funny stuff. Oh, I didn't say this on the podcast, did I? About the pizza shop thing?
No.
Okay, so
you just told me about it today.
I didn't know if I said it because you knew about us playing pizza shop, but you didn't know about what he said about me at work, right? Okay. Anyway, I'll say the whole story. So I can't remember who I tell what, even the podcast.
I think both were news to me today.
Okay, so Cash and I play this game where I'll pretend to call him and I'll put my hand up to my ear and I'll go ring, 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 or vice versa. And, you know, whoever will say, is this the pizza shop? And I'll be like, yeah.
I'm like, no, this is Patrick.
I'm like, can I get a pizza? Yeah, what kind? And I'm like, usually if Cash is answering, he'll go large. And then I'll be like, okay, beep, hang up the phone. And then I'll pretend to make a pizza like in the air and then hand it to him. And so last week I was getting ready for work. I was putting my shoes on and he goes, Mommy, where are you going? And I said, to work. And he goes, oh, to make pizza. So this boy really thinks I make pizza at work, which makes sense. That's logical. That's great logic, Cash. But I do not make pizza at work. I have made pizza at one of my jobs before, at two of my jobs, actually. I've worked at two pizza places, but that is not where I currently work. And so I kind of explained that to him a little bit, but he's just so funny. Everything he does is funny. And he's spitting out whole sentences sometimes, like Travis said, my phone died. And he goes, what's wrong, Daddy? Your phone died? I was like, well, look at you just using whole sentences.
Oh.
So, yeah, that was really cute.
Really
what's wrong, Daddy? Your phone died? So cute.
Oh. I actually just remembered something funny that I remembered.
I just remembered something funny that I remembered. Go ahead.
So I have a younger cousin / godson, and we were all gathered having a conversation, like us and the cousins. And as he's walking away, he farted.
What?
He tried to play it off, but we all heard it.
How do you try to play it off?
He tried to like blame it on someone else or blame it on like his shoe or something. Like he's a teenage boy, so like for him it was super embarrassing.
Yeah.
And like we just made it a bigger deal than it really was, and it just you had to be there. It was really funny.
You had to be there.
Just had to be there.
You know when I was there was when we were making the Dulux sign and we were on the floor in the other room and you kept accidentally farting. Do you remember?
Me?
Yes. You're like, oh my God, I just farted. And then like a few minutes later, we're doing something else. So we're like on the floor, like on our hands and knees trying to make this sign. You're like, oh my God, I just farted again.
No, his fart was undeniably his. Like,
yeah.
So loud, so funny. Like we had just finished talking and then And then
funny.
the same cousin, his birthday just passed, and before it happened, I was like, "Oh, how old are you? How old are you turning?" He said 13.
13.
So now we call him the 13-year-old boy.
Wow, he's getting old.
Yeah, but at Christmas, he started taking back the power. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a 13-year-old boy. Look at my shoes. Yeah, a 13-year-old boy getting this for Christmas or something." I'm like, it's not funny when you do it.
Yeah. At least he
Yeah.
knows how to take back his power.
He's super smart. He's a great kid.
Yeah.
He went through his growth spurt today.
Today?
This year. Could you imagine? I think he's my height or taller than me this year.
You would think that we're on drugs or something, but we're totally sober.
He went through his growth spurt this year.
Not today.
No, and his voice has started changing this year. He's 13 now.
He's 13.
He got a little girlfriend. He made her a little like gift basket. He's something else. He's a good kid. But that was probably the funniest things. Okay. What are your manifestations for 2025?
Financial stability, professional growth, a lot more family time, growth within the podcast, and yeah, that's it.
Last year I said I want to be happy, loved, and cared for, cherished, and obsessed with.
You said that?
Yeah.
Say it again.
I want to be happy, loved, and cared for, cherished, and obsessed with.
If that is not exactly what you currently are, I don't know what is.
I know. I was listening to it with Mario next to me, and he was like, I was like, "Are you obsessed with me?" He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And I was like, I did my job then.
Yeah.
Self-love, and I wanted a chill year, which question mark. I also said that I predict that I will not be pregnant in 2024, so I was right, but maybe in 2025. So I don't know. I don't want to be pregnant in 2025. Like, I'm okay if it happens, but if it was up to me, I would want another year to myself.
Your body to yourself is what you mean.
Honestly, it really just comes down to one single thing. Because it's no longer an unsafe partner. It's no longer really financial stress.
Mm-hmm. It's if you are personally bodily ready.
Other than the fact that it's a risk to my life. Like whenever Mario's like, "I'm going to get you pregnant." I'm like, is that a threat? Like other than the obvious, like, health possibility, dangers, whatever. Mm-hmm. This is going to sound so depressing. I know we were on a high. I'm so sorry. I've realized that it really comes down to one thing. And it's that I hate my body. I hate my body, and I don't think I would love it if it changed in that way. I want to say that I would because it's creating life. And maybe it would help me find the beauty in it. Yeah, or appreciation in it. But I don't currently have that. And so I think that's a big part of it.
I will say I hated my body before I got pregnant. And I loved my body while I was pregnant. I loved it so much. And I loved it after even. Maybe not so much currently, but like during and immediately after, I was just in love with my baby bump. I actually had to mourn my baby bump. I remember talking about that. Like I wasn't prepared for, after I had Cash, I remember having the thought of like, oh, my baby bump's going to be gone. And then I was like, oh my God, my baby bump's going to be gone. Like, that's sad. Like I had to mourn it like as if it was an actual like being. I'm like, but the baby's here. Like he's right here. So that was strange. So for anybody who's looking to have a child, just kind of be prepared for that. But
thanks.
Sorry. But I mourned it. Why? Because I loved it so much. I loved, like the appreciation I had for my body, or like the just how I looked pregnant. Like, even though I am still technically overweight, even though, you couldn't tell that I was pregnant until I was like probably like 18 weeks, I'll say 18 months, 18 weeks. Once I got to that point where you could tell I was pregnant, I was like, oh my God. But even before that, like as soon as I knew there was a baby in my belly, like I loved it, every second of it. So I think it would help a lot. I think you would really enjoy a pregnant body. Maria does.
Yeah, I think also too, like, last year I got off of birth control, so like my body's still adjusting to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's just like a lot of hormonal changes this past year that's contributed to like a lot of things. And like I'm about to be 29. So like signs of aging,
Mm-hmm.
like I've gotten a couple of white hairs and like I've just noticed differences in my skin. And I just know that pregnancy would just make everything different. And I just don't know if I'm ready or if I want. I don't know. Let's move on. Just kidding. I don't know. Okay, maybe, it'd be cool, but like maybe towards the end of the year,
I think the general thing that is holding you back, the one general thing is the fear of the unknown.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
The fear of how you're going to feel about your body, the fear of what might happen, the fear of what might not happen, the fear of all of the unknowns.
Yeah. And like I know 29 is still young, but like it almost kind of isn't. Mm-hmm. And like Mario's 35.
Got some swimmers in there.
So
he's 53.
He is 53. He looks really good for 53 though. But yeah, anyways, so manifestations is just, continue to be in a healthy relationship and working out each and every day and choosing love and maybe a pregnancy at the end of 2025. I don't know. Whatever.
We'll see what happens.
Paying off my credit cards
exactly when they're supposed to.
So it'll happen exactly when it's supposed to.
Paying off your credit cards, that is.
Yep. Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I was kidding because he said it and then I said it.
But yeah, I want to have majority of my credit card debt paid off by the end of next year. And yeah, peace and love.
Beautiful.
All right.
What else?
Are we ready for major events in 2024?
Yes. Absolutely.
All right.
Should have switched hands for it.
We are currently at 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Okay.
So this is going to end us off.
End us off. Wow. I don't know if that was sexual or like morbid.
So the website that I use, which is Wikipedia, they go day by day.
Oh no, let's not do that.
Well, no. So I try to have at least one thing in each month. There's some months that have a couple things, but I thought they were interesting. And honestly, there were some things I had no idea about. Like,
yeah, there were things last year that we didn't know idea about.
Like moon landings, stuff in like science that happened that and it also made me realize like how social media keeps me so ignorant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I choose it. So like, I'm not complaining. But you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know half of this stuff. Majority of this stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I really wish I could let go of social media, but I just know I can't. I don't have
Me either.
I don't have the mental capacity to let it go. I need to be able to doom scroll.
Life's not a dick. Don't take it too hard. Okay. Preach. All right. January 1st, 2024.
Damn.
Public Domain Day. Books, films, and other works published in 1928 enter the public domain. The most notable work entering into the public domain is Steamboat Willie, the earliest version of Mickey Mouse, leading to the announcement of the multiple works based on this version of the character. You remember that? The one he's on the steamboat.
Oh, yes.
I can't whistle. I'm sorry.
Yes, I do.
That came into the public domain. So like anyone can.
Called Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, I didn't either. But that's the earliest version of Mickey Mouse. Anyway, I didn't know about this. January 5th, Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 suffers an uncontrolled decompression after one of the emergency exit doors on Boeing 737 MAX 9 blows out, resulting in an emergency landing in Portland and the FAA grounding all 737 MAX 9s.
Yes. I remember when this happened, and I watched a documentary about the Boeing 737s, especially the Maxes. Like, they all have faults. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so scary. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so. I feel like this year alone, there's a lot of emergency landings.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude?
Yep.
January 20th, at least 60 people are killed across the country after 2 weeks of winter storms that caused dangerous road conditions and widespread power outages that could take weeks to fix. You remember that? Winter was pretty rough last year, actually.
I don't remember that.
Earlier this
no.
year. Mm-hmm.
In what areas?
It just says across the country.
Hmm.
February 4th. Flowers by Miley Cyrus wins Record of the Year, and Midnights by Taylor Swift wins Album of the Year.
Hmm.
February 11th, the Kansas City Chiefs won Super Bowl LV3. What's L mean again? 28?
I have no idea.
There are 28 Super Bowls.
No, there's 50 something.
Oh, 58, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
28 Super Bowls. There's less Super Bowls than you've been alive.
Yeah, what the hell? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what the hell? What the hell, me?
Against the San Francisco 49ers. Niners. Sorry, honey. 25-22 in overtime at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The second Super Bowl to go into overtime after Super Bowl 51. The Chiefs are the first repeat champion since the New England Patriots in 2004.
24. That's funny. It's only the second Super Bowl out of 58.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say? Out of 58 Super Bowls, only the second one to go into overtime?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
that is crazy.
Maybe it's more common for basketball games to go into overtime than football games because their spread is like, 7 points.
I was gonna say right,
rather than like 2 or
points.
3.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Okay. February 16th, New York civil investigation of the Trump Organization. Judge Arthur Engoron orders Trump and his companies to pay $355 million, $464 million after interest is added, as a result of being found liable for several counts of fraud. Additionally, his sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, are ordered to each pay $4 million, and former Chief Financial Officer Alan Weiselberg is ordered to pay $1 million. Why y'all chose to vote for him to run the country, I have no idea.
Yeah.
February 21st, Biden cancels another $1.2 billion of student loan debts to nearly 153,000 people.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother Biden. March 1st, Caitlin Clark beats the all-time NCAA Division I college basketball career scoring record that had been held by Pete Maravich with 3,685 points.
Wow.
Good for her.
Yeah.
March 13th through the 15th, a significant early spring tornado outbreak occurred throughout the Midwestern and Northeastern United States, with the most significant impacts occurring in Indiana and Ohio. The outbreak produced 34 tornadoes and caused $5.9 billion in damage.
$6 billion with a B. Whoa.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
No.
I do.
I don't remember anything weather related, obviously.
Oh my God. March 21st. Wait. Yes. March 21st, March 21st. A man identified as Richard Slayman receives a kidney from a genetically engineered pig at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. This medical breakthrough could see the end of dialysis treatment.
I remember that.
I do remember that too.
That is specifically interesting to me because I have polycystic kidney disease.
You do?
Yes. Yes.
Did I know this?
I think so. My mom has it. My grandpa had it.
What is that?
Like PCOS, but for your kidneys. Polycystic kidney disease. Multiple cysts on your kidneys. It doesn't really affect you until you're older, but usually it ends in dialysis and needing a transplant.
Excuse me.
So, yeah. Medical miracles like this will make it so that you don't have to do that.
How did you find out about this?
My first kidney stone, I went to the hospital and they diagnosed me with it there when I was 18.
That was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I did know about it.
When I was 18 feels like longer than 12 years ago.
Yeah.
What does that say about me? I feel old.
Well, last year you read how cells from 2 male rats produced an embryo. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I understand what you're telling me, but I don't understand scientifically how that's possible.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yep.
March 26th, the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore partially collapses after the large Singaporean cargo ship MV Dali collides with it. 6 people are reported missing and presumed dead. Do you remember that?
I do remember. And the 6 people
That's
were
crazy.
construction workers.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah.
April 8, a total solar eclipse is viewable in the central and northeastern U.S. with the path of total eclipse over parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
Wow.
That was super exciting.
Very exciting. I loved it.
Me too. Me and Mario were texting about it. That was like the beginning of us talking.
Oh.
April 9th, James and Jennifer Crumbley, parents of convicted Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumbley, are each sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison after being found guilty of involuntary manslaughter earlier this year. The first parents in the nation to be held accountable for their child's school shooting.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting as hell?
I did not know about that, but that is really interesting.
Honestly, yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were like they were egging him on, or they bought him the weapon or something physical like that.
Do you want me to click on it? I can click on it.
Nah.
Okay.
Just keep going.
April 19th, Maxwell Azzarella, a 37-year-old man from St. Augustine, Florida, self-immolates in front of the New York Supreme Court in New York City, where the New York State criminal trial against Trump is set to begin. He died early the next day.
Self-immolates.
I clicked on it because I had no idea what the fuck that meant. Light yourself on fire. He lit himself on fire.
Like in front of Congress.
In front of the New York Supreme Court.
I said Congress.
Yeah.
Just made that up. What the hell?
He self-immolated
Why?
himself.
Did they say why?
I'd have to click on the case. You want me to click on the case?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to click on the case?
When
Okay.
you are listening back to this for cuts, write down these things to research for a further episode.
I'll keep this so that
Yeah.
I have links for them. I just copied and pasted so I can just click and it'll go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Also on April 19th, Taylor Swift releases her double album, The Tortured Poets Department. It breaks the record for most streamed album in a single day, and she becomes the most streamed artist in a single day.
Wow.
May 30th, Trump is found guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records in his New York hush money trial, making him the first president to ever be convicted of a felony. Why y'all decided to vote him into presidency, I have no idea. June 30th, Inside Out 2 surpasses $1 billion in worldwide box office earnings in less than 3 weeks, the fastest of any animated film in history, which we have yet to watch.
Wow. I didn't know it did that well.
We have to set aside to watch this.
Yeah, we do.
We have to set aside. We
We
have to
have
set
to
aside a day.
We have to set something aside.
July 13th, Trump is shot in an assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, receiving minor injuries. So sad. The Butler County District Attorney reports that the suspect was shot dead and that a member of the audience was killed in the shooting, RIP. 2 other attendees were injured. July 21st, President Biden announces he will withdraw from the 2024 presidential election. Vice President Kamala Harris launches her campaign for president, receiving Biden's support and becoming the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party the next day.
For the Democratic Patty.
August 1st, 2024 American-Russian prisoner exchange. 26 individuals are released from Ankara and Semboga Airport in the largest prisoner exchange between the United States and Russia since the Cold War.
Whoa.
26 individuals.
For who?
Hmm?
For who? Who would we exchange?
No, I think they were just released to us from Russia.
Yeah, but it says prisoner exchange. That means you exchange Russian prisoners from here to Russia for American prisoners from Russia to here.
I didn't talk about the Russians released over there.
Of course they did. Go ahead.
September 16th, Sean P. Diddy Combs is arrested in Manhattan and charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Disgusting.
We're going to do a deep dive on that.
Oh my God, I had a dream about him last night. I was at one of his parties, but it wasn't like how they talked about. It was super low-key and ghetto. And I just remember he like was shoving blue caviar into his mouth. And we were in line waiting to get on stage to perform for him. A song.
You were going to perform a song for P. Diddy.
Yeah.
That's the funniest part of the whole thing.
I was so nervous too.
I would be too. Shit.
Like, I don't even think I was nervous about doing well. I was nervous about like not doing well or maybe doing too well.
Yeah.
I don't know what would happen to me.
Right.
September 27th through the 30th, Hurricane Helene kills at least 215 and leaves 685 people missing in the southeast.
700 people missing.
Yeah, that's
Helene
nuts.
was horrible. The Hurricane Helene was like predicted to be as bad as Katrina.
Yeah.
Luckily, she wasn't as bad, but pretty bad still.
That's horrible. Horrific. Yeah. October 22nd, 2024, McDonald's E. coli outbreak. The CDC reports 75 people have fallen ill and one person has died after consuming McDonald's Quarter Pounders tainted with E. coli. 15 more people had fallen ill by October 31st. November 3rd, Taylor Swift concludes the Eras Tour in the United States at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, the highest grossing concert tour of all time.
The Indianapolis one?
Yep.
What?
People traveled. Like, far and wide.
She had 3 dates here, right? 2 or 3.
I thought it was just 2, but maybe it's 3. I don't know. Yeah. November 15th, the Tyson versus Paul fight is live streamed on Netflix and takes place at AT&T Stadium.
What a joke.
In Arlington, Texas, between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Paul was declared the winner by unanimous decision, and the Netflix claims, I love how they put Netflix claims that 108 million people viewed the event on its platform.
Barely.
First of all, it busted.
They viewed the previous events on the same live stream.
Yeah, but didn't get to the fight.
Yeah, when the Paul George fight started, Paul George.
No, Kelsey, no.
I like how you're whispering it to me. No, Paul George. As if I'm on stage.
Withdrawn.
And you're like at the end. You're like at the end of the stage, like, Kelsey, no, not Paul George. That's a Pacers player, an ex-Pacers player. Did you know that? Paul George?
No, I knew that.
Oh.
But then...
He's not on the Pacers anymore.
No, I know.
Oh.
No, I know.
So what are you confused about?
For a second... Cut this out.
Okay.
I, for a second, thought you said the name... George Floyd? Sorry. No, don't laugh.
I understand now why you were freaking out so much.
Like, no,
Paul George is a basketball player.
All right. Shh.
Don't say anything else.
Cutting back in.
I'm going to leave that part in.
No, not
the shush part.
Okay, yeah. May I?
Yeah.
Last thing.
I was going to say the fight, the main event, totally not streamable. Some people claim they could still watch it, like fucking Mario. I don't believe him. Not on Netflix, he didn't watch it.
That's what he claims.
Go ahead.
The last one, December 4th, Brian Thompson, the CEO of insurance company United Healthcare, is fatally shot outside of the New York Hilton Midtown in what police called a targeted attack. It was later found out that it was Luigi Mangione. Mm-hmm. Honestly, the edits of him are going viral of him doing like the perp walk and his mugshots. And honestly, look, the fact that there is so much anger over one person who killed a billionaire versus the billions of people, sorry, maybe not billions, millions of people, or hundreds of thousands of children who are constantly shot dead in mass shootings and school shootings.
Or an even closer relation than that, this outrage over a CEO that died when there are patients that were under his watch that died because they couldn't get care. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
hundreds, thousands.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, not saying he deserved it. We're
I'm
not
just saying the outrage is a little unproportioned, okay?
Also, and again, murder is bad. Nobody should have been murdered.
We all know that. We all
but
understand.
look at the conversation this has started.
Mm-hmm.
People are putting stories out there of these crazy incidences in which they were either denied insurance claims or they were first approved and then redacted later and charged.
Yep.
It should be illegal for your health insurance company to cover your claim and then come back later and say, never mind.
Right.
It should be illegal.
Right.
Why the fuck are we letting insurance companies do that shit? That's all I got to say about that.
Honestly, there should be more said about that.
Mm-hmm.
Free Luigi. Anyway, that's all I got.
Oh, okay, good, because I have a headache.
Oh, well, damn.
But yeah, we've got plenty.
Okay,
Hour
so
26.
we hope you guys had a happy new year.
Yes.
Make sure to wear your red thong and eat 12 grapes under a table, which by the time you hear this, it'll all be too late if you didn't do that. So sorry for you.
I don't know about the red thong thing.
I just
Red thong
learned
thing.
red thong thing. I just learned about that a couple years ago. Just do it. Actually,
don't have
you
a
don't
red
need
thong.
it. Well, you don't need it. It's for love.
Oh, okay. Then good.
Okay.
What? And the grapes are for luck or what?
12 grapes. You wish on every grape as you eat
For
them.
each month.
I don't eat them under the table, but I've seen people, I don't know.
Mm.
Again, do what you may. But we hope that you had a wonderful year, despite how difficult it may have been at times.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for still being here today with us.
Yes, thank you.
I mean that for the podcast and just physically in person.
Yes.
The fact that you have managed to push through anything you've gone through.
You're doing great.
High five, dude.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Doing great, sweetie. We love you. We care for you.
Yes.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, buy our merch. And we're not going away, so
See you next week, bitches.
see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.